Succulent Prey was a metaphor for addiction. That was really the whole point in that book. And it was basically this guy struggling with an addiction and struggling to get over it for the sake of the people that he loved. His addiction just happened to be cannibalism.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
Well, that was what it was. It was a metaphor for addiction. And Prey Drive, when I wrote that, it was kind of an indictment on the justice system and the penal system in America. And it also continued the theme of addiction. But what we do with addicts, especially when they commit a crime, is we lock them up and forget about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of those things I was trying to work out. There are few books that are novel length that I've written that don't have some other meaning to them, because I have a hard time writing fluff. You know, I have a hard time writing just, escapism. It's because it bores me, honestly. Like when my leisure time, I read the most intense books I can find. I was a philosophy major, so I read like intense books in my leisure time. I watch documentaries on crazy stuff, and I crave intensity.
Yeah.
And if the book doesn't have that intensity, it doesn't have the social commentary, it doesn't have the deeper meaning, I get bored reading it, and I definitely would get bored writing.
Because it's like, if you're not looking forward to reading or to writing the next chapter, why should you expect a reader to look forward to reading the next chapter?
Exactly.
That's great. And I think that's a lot too, that a lot of certainly newer writers maybe try a little bit too hard to do, where they try to write for the audience as opposed to writing for themselves and then drawing that type of an audience to them. You know, and I think readers can see through that.
Yeah, and I think, as much as I love this new resurgence of interest in splatterpunk and extreme horror, I think just like the paranormal romances of the 90s and the sexy vampires and then the zombies in the early aughts, all of these people who are rushing to jump on that bandwagon are, in my mind, diluting the genre and leading to those criticisms of gore for the sake of gore and not being, no talent involved and so on and so forth. They're perpetuating that by jumping in just because it's what's hot right now and not what's passionate, not what they're passionate about, not what they actually have an interest in, but they're writing it just because it's what's hot right now. And they're they're kind of perpetuating that myth that that's all splatterpunk is by writing this garbage. So I wish that if this isn't something that you love to write, don't write it just to make a buck. If this isn't something you're passionate about, don't jump on it just because it's what's hot right now. I wish people would try to write what they love. Full stop.